Recently, I uploaded the clip where I mentioned that be friendly but not friends with coworkers at work sites. I appreciate the courage uh, of worker who approached me at my office and asked what to do if they already friend with someone and now acting as a supervisor. To be honest, there were few occasions in my corporate career where I had to terminate or separate someone who I was pretty close to. I noticed that any friends of those friends also decide that I am the devil or an evil person. They will backbite, talk against you, will give you bad reputation, and much more. By the way, make no mistake, it fall to the boss who make the hard decision to bear the burn of it. Everyone looking from the outside thinks that it is heartless to treat a friend that way, which is a sort of ironic. I have learned that there are some genuinely tricky situations. What happens, for example, if you are promoted within your team to lead that same team? This is a really common scenario, and it's likely you will have developed peer friendship, which are entirely appropriate. But then you are thrust into a position where you now have to lead those same people, some of whom might be friends. The bad news is you cannot put the toothpaste back in the tube on this one. It's been a number of years since I was in that position. However, even way back then, I understood the difficulties of having to lead someone who was a close friend. I noticed one can ignore their mistakes, cannot write them up, cannot suspend them, cannot make decision to terminate them, and much more. From my experience, most of the people we call friends at work will use and abuse you as a boss or a supervisor or a manager. So think of yourself, your family, the firm you work for, and customers or clients of the firm or company. Friends will not pay your bills. It is the firm who hired and gave you a position, an opportunity to serve them, their clients or customers, and their assets. If you are stuck in such situation, something like this should do the trick. For example, if you have a friend named Bobby, you can probably use this trick. Hey, Bobby, this is potentially a tricky situation. You know that you are a close friend of mine, but now I have to lead this team. I cannot afford to show any favoritism because that would end in tears for both of us. I absolutely don't want to lose our friendship, but I am going to have to put some boundaries in work. workplace. I will still always be there for you personally, but I know you will understand why I need to be a little less familiar with you in the office or work sites. Even though you cannot undo the past, this is a good way of putting some professional distance in place. At least when you are around each other in a work environment. Here is something that is really changing in past few short years. The dynamics of romantic relationship in the workplace. I have had some people say to me since I recorded the last clip, the one which was be friendly at work, not friends. So they told me, hey, Major Saleem, Major, I don't agree with you. That's ridiculous. I met my husband at work. Well, fair enough. I understand that, but we have seen so many cases in past few years of high profile, highly paid, successful executives whose careers have been ruined because they haven't understood one really important principle. When you are the boss, there is a power dynamic that almost guarantees that you cannot have a relationship of equals. It's almost like an age of consent issue, but it's now a position of consent issue. Let me explain. The age the age of consent is interrupted in a way that says until someone reach a certain age, they are incapable of giving their consent. They don't have the maturity, the experience, or the understanding to give genuine consent. So guess what? Male or female, when you are a boss, must not think that it is in any way acceptable to cross that line with someone who works for you. It is the only way to be sure that the object of your affections isn't compliant because of the power dynamic at play. If you are in a relationship with someone who works for you, one of you probably need to get another job. And if you think you can keep it a secret, you can't. Keep professional distance is absolutely essential at work, but it can be incredibly difficult. To be honest with you, it's not easy to be a boss, and if a CEO, there are the toughest leadership jobs around. But remember, the line, it's never acceptable to cross. Thank you.